So everyone, welcome. If this class is to talk about Facebook advertising and all the kinds of ways that you can run ads, get leads, get buyer leads, get seller leads. Even if you don't have listings, you can run ads. So what I'd like to know is, as I see people logging in now, is if you could put it in the chat panel, how many of you have run ads before on Facebook? Not even with our system, but just have you run ads, yes or no? If you want to put if you've had success or not, that would help too. And yeah, okay, yes, no success. That's a bummer, Laura. Laura, how did you do that? Were you running it through Facebook? Were you running it through our systems? We're going to get into that. Christine says she's had some, yes, through Facebook. And that's a big point. So as we start the class, and people are logging in, I'm just going to go over, and I rarely go to Facebook to run ads anymore. And I think the one thing I want you to know is you don't need to go into Facebook to run ads anymore. That's just, that's just how it is. Let me just stop these things from popping up. We actually have a 3-click ad generator inside of our system. Yeah, Elizabeth, very seldom no success. So I got to tell you guys, I think you need to watch this class. If you don't understand what's going on, what I'm showing you here today, you need to ask questions. Because I think one of the smartest places for a realtor to spend money today, to invest their own money, aside from listings to leads, of course, is using Facebook advertising. And I'm going to show you why, but if I can find my way over to the ad manager, which is just such a pain in the rear to find. I don't even know where it is anymore. Let's see. Is the ad manager over here? Yeah, create an ad. So this here is how, this is different. This Facebook ad advertising has changed. It changes every few days. And that's a real challenge with what you want to do. What are you trying to achieve, right? And I used to train on Facebook advertising every week for our clients like you to learn how to get leads. And honestly, I've never seen this look. What I'm looking at here, right here, I don't even know what this is, right? So that's good. I mean, that's fine, because that's exactly the point I want to make is Facebook changes all the time. They're an innovative company, and you'd be hard pressed to stay on top of what Facebook is doing. Okay, and people, somebody here, Laura on the call, said she ran ad and it didn't succeed. Elizabeth didn't succeed either. And I don't blame you, because understanding what's going on in Facebook is, first of all, difficult. There are 3 pages of things you got to read through and check, and know what to check and how to check. And it's different if you're running a landing page, if you're running an open house, if you're running something sold. It's totally different of the buttons you got to check. And I don't even want to teach it anymore. It's because you would have to actually hear me tell you and remember, and God bless you if that's going to happen, right? What I can tell you today is we have an ads tab in listings to leads. And if you're in real estate, you should never be running ads inside of Facebook, because we've taken the software and put it on this page. Now, when you come here, you see I've got all these graphics and things. When you come here, there's going to be one big button that says connect to Facebook. And below it is going to be a little video that's going to show you what happens when you click that button. It's only a 2-minute video. I suggest you watch it, and I definitely suggest you do that. You create ads, right? So once you connect to Facebook, it's going to ask you for your personal name, then it's going to say your business page, then it's going to say yes and okay and done, and then it brings you back here, and nothing will be here except for those 3 green buttons. Okay, and you see it says create listing ad, create landing page ad, and create PDF report ad. When you connect to your Facebook account, your personal business page Facebook account, it's going to show these 3 green buttons and nothing else. Down here, these are your ads after the fact. After you run them, they sort of sit here and you can look at them, right? That's what all that is. So I'm going to very quickly create a listing ad because it's very easy to do. If you're looking for buyers, like I've got an open house here, leave it on lead ads and click create an ad, right? Choose your property. This shows all the listings that are in your account. So click create an ad. And when you do that, you're going to see what the ad looks like over here on the right. Now it's going to say sponsored by, for us, it says sponsored by Listings Leads. Yours is going to be sponsored by your business page, okay? And then there are 3 things you need to do. You need to click this button here that says, number 1, create new form, and then click this button down here, create the form. The form you're creating is actually this form on the right. It's a form with a full name, email, and phone number. And the beauty of this is it's pre-populated by Facebook. So when somebody responds to your ad, that form right there that you're looking at on the right pops up fully filled out, okay? And that's kind of, that's good. Let me, my phone's over here making noises, so give me a second. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So that's the form. It comes in with pre-populated phone numbers. It's awesome. So the other thing you do is you type in the location, right? Wherever you are, it's Lafayette, that's where I am, right? But obviously it's a city where your home is or where you're at, where you want to start. And the minimum radius is 15 miles. You can expand that if you want. And then you can publish, right? And that's all you got to do to run an ad. Does everybody understand that part? There are only 3 steps. Click the form to create a new form like this. Then just click this green button at the bottom. That creates a form. Type in your city right here and then publish. Are there any questions about that? That literally is how you run a successful ad. Now, that's just the basics. That's just the basics. So I want to talk that what I want to do, as you can see, it's very easy to run an ad, right? I can go to the ads tab here and I can say, well, today I want to run a landing page ad. So I'm going to click that button and I'm going to do a new construction landing page ad. And I'm going to leave it on lead ads just like we did before. And I'm going to click this button, create the form, click create form down here and go here and type in the location and then publish, right? So you could literally run an ad in 15 seconds, right? 20 seconds. All this is pre-written, right? All this is here. Anytime you use a new tool, you're going to have a different graphic. We automatically put the graphics in there. So I'm going to go back to ads. I'm going to do one more on the PDF report ad. You may not know this. We have written 50 PDF reports, 50, 25 for buyers and 25 for sellers. So if you want to talk to sellers, well, there are 25 reports already written with your contact information on every page. They're high level. They work all over the country. If you notice there's a little white disc here, a little white button, you can download the report before you send it, right? And then once you feel comfortable, like, yeah, that's what I want to get out there, just click this button here that says create an ad, and it goes and creates the ad for you. Let's give it a second to do its thing. And you'll notice that you got to create the form, type the location, and publish, okay? Now I'm going to repeat that this right here, as you can see, it is sponsored by Listings Leads. But for you, as I said, the first step is to connect your business page to the account. So that's always going to be sponsored by you. All right. So I want to slow down a second. I think now you can understand how you create an ad. What you may not understand is what in the world's going on, right? So I'm over here at Facebook, and I got a picture of a friend of mine who's down in Mexico. right there on the wall, right? This is the news feed in the center of Facebook. And then the next thing is this ad. It's sponsored, right? It's an ad. And that's where your ad, that's over here on the right, shows up. It doesn't show up on your business page. It shows up in front of the people on the news feed of the people who you're trying to target, right? So in this case, it would be people living within 15 miles of Lafayette, okay? Yeah, so that's kind of, that's like, it's gonna show up right here. And you notice here, this is a weird one because they're selling all kinds of weird stuff. It says shop now. If you can see, there's a button. Well, when our ads go out, the default is it's gonna say learn more down here on the bottom right. Now, when they click that, or if they click anywhere in this ad, it's gonna pop up this form I showed you earlier. And it's not gonna be empty like you see it here. It's gonna have their name, phone number, and email. So if you're looking for buyers, the number one way to get buyer leads is just doing it like that. But in this case, we're trying to get sellers, right? And so that form is gonna come in with only the name, email, and phone number. So what I want to talk about now are the things that I hear people making mistakes, right? And their misunderstanding of what's going on, what they think is going on, and what's not going on. Before I get into that, and so this is going to be a little bit of, I think, where I hear people making mistakes, and also give you the strategy that you need to be using, okay? And let's see who's on the call now. We've got a few more people on the call. And a bunch of you came in kind of a little bit later. If you would let me know, have you run ads or have you not run ads on Facebook? And have you had success or no? If you'd put it in the chat panel, I'd appreciate it. So before we get into the details of what's going on, if I would like you to write this down. And this I've been giving for years as a strategy for Facebook, and now we've made it super easy. So I want you to take advantage of the strategy. And what I mean, and so I give this, you know, I talk to realtors every day, and many don't know what to think of or do with Facebook. What you should know about Facebook is 70% of Americans spend 40 minutes every day on Facebook, right? They're sharing their holiday pictures like this. They're sharing whatever, pictures of their pets, right? The pictures of their good times, whatever they want to share, right? The restaurants where they're eating, all kinds of fun stuff, right? And that's why people spend so much time there. They can just scroll through this and see everything that their friends are doing, and that's great, right? So that's what's going on Facebook. And what's important for you to know is when you run an ad, thousands of people, every time you run one ad, even if it's for only $20 for 4 days, a few thousand people are going to see that. And when they see it, they're going to see it sponsored by you, right? So when I talk to like brand new green realtors with no business, no listings, and no name recognition, I tell them you need to be spending $200 a month on Facebook every month, right? Because you see, when you spend an ad, if you put $20, wherever you are in the country, if you put $20 on an ad for 4 days, minimum 2,000 people are going to see it, okay? And it's going to be sponsored by your business page. So that's good for your brand. Now, if they click on it, because they're interested in what you're saying, well, obviously you're going to capture a lead, either a buyer or seller. That's just one ad, right? So let me give you the first overall strategy that I think you should be doing. You should be running at least 8 ads a week, and one should be a listing ad, just like I was showing you how to do. And you can borrow listings. If you can talk to your colleagues, if you don't have any listings, you can borrow listings on your listings page, and they will be right here for you to run ads on in this section. You should run at least one ad every week for $20 for 4 days. That's $5 a day. Now, just in case you don't know this, and it's not an exact number, this is called pay-per-click advertising. So if I change this to 20, you'll notice I get this big red mark. That's because Facebook doesn't want to run ads for less than, what is it? $5 a day, right? So you got to kind of shorten the days. So this is 4 days, $5 a day, $20 max. That's a 4-day ad, okay? And I got $20. So one thing I want you to know is it's pay-per-click, means every time somebody clicks on an ad, you pay for it, right? And since this is looking for buyers, Facebook typically charges about $1 a lead. So you could kind of expect 20 leads, maybe 15, maybe 25. It does change where you are in the country. Maybe it's competition. I have no idea why it's not a uniform number, but it's not a uniform number. Buyer leads in Manhattan, New York cost $5 a click. So if you have $20, you'd only get 4 leads, right? So that's run one ad about any listing at any status every week for $20 for 4 days. Then then alternate, run PDF report ads or run a landing page ad. Every week, either buyer or seller, whatever you want. You should actually run both because buyers turn into sellers and all kinds of stuff like that. You should actually be running ads like this once a week as well. But we always put $50. I would change that to 30. Now this is the minimum, right? And make it for 3 days, right? And that should give you. Oh, it's punching a month out. So where are we? Yeah, right here. And so that's 20 plus 30 is 50 times 4 weeks is 200. Now you can increase that. You can make it $200 or $300 a month. If you've got multiple listings, you're going to want to do more. And when you start to realize that you're getting, if we go here to the ad section, and you start to realize that you're getting good leads from your PDF report ads for sellers, if you want more seller leads and you're doing it the right way, you're going to find that you can always increase the budget, and the budget will, the more you put in, the more leads you'll get. Yeah, that's great. Edward, you're telling me you need help running ads. I am giving you help right here. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Great. This is how you run an ad, right? And I'm afraid I can't get on the phone with each and one of you and click this button for you. You click this button here, create a listing ad, you choose the listing you want, and you leave it on lead ads if you're looking for buyers, and you click create ad, just like I'm doing right now, and then you click create new form, and you click create new form here, and then you type in the location and you publish. Okay, that's how you run an ad. It's pretty easy. So we've got a discussion here about, well, now that you know how to run ads, what you should be doing. And you should be running a minimum of $200 a month on Facebook ads, right? Like I said, one $20 ad, one $30 ad, $50 a week, and that, times 4 weeks is $200 a month. For that kind of spend, for that budget, your business page, which is sponsoring every ad, will be seen 15 to 20,000 times, okay? So every time, because you run 8 ads, a lot of people are going to see that. Notice this is sponsored by Elgato. This is going to be sponsored by your business page 15 to 20,000 times. People are going to see that, right? For that kind of money. If you put in more money, more people are going to see it. more leads, right? So that's the minimum. Does everybody get that? Do you understand? And there's a reason why you want to do that month in and month out. It's called consistency. Yeah. That's great. Edward has a budget for 500, so you can do different math and make your ads bigger. I don't recommend, I don't recommend throwing big money on ads until you know you're doing them correctly. And you know you're doing them correctly if you're getting leads, right? And so that's kind of the high level strategy part, right? Now I want to get into what are the kinds of things that people don't understand and people their expectations. And if you have questions about what you expect and what you're not getting, that's really, throw them in here. I'd love to discuss them right now. So one of the things that people think is, and it's not their fault, when we talk about sold advertising, I got a property that's sold, you should run ads for sold ads. The call to actions, I'm going to click it now. It's all about getting your home value. This home is sold. Your home value has changed. It's right here. It's pre-written. Text here or click here to get your home value, right? So here is, and so you can see that this is about getting listing leads. Now, I would suggest that if you sold a home, and one of the stories that's going on in the market is like, it's sold in 1 week, right? If it's sold in 1 week, put it right here in this box on the left. Went into contract in 7 days, right? Somebody told me this week sold 40 grand above asking. These are really, and it's funny because I talk to realtors and they're like, oh, I don't have anything to advertise because I sold all my properties. It's like, and then they said, yeah, and it was in contract in 4 days. I can't advertise. I'm like, listen, that is the kind of news you want to tell the market. If you can get a home in contract in 4 days or 7 days or even a week, that's great, because you know what? People don't like selling their homes. It's a pain, right? If you can get more money for it, then that's a great skill too. So whatever you type in this box over here shows up in this box over here on the right, before you post it, right? Now, I want to caution you though, when we create new form, it only picks up the name, phone number, and email. And so when you're thinking of a home value lead, you usually want the address, right? So I don't actually, if you're looking for sellers, if you're looking for listing leads, I actually don't recommend that you use our lead form. At least on like sold properties or a home valuation, like you see here, free home values. If I say, oh, I want to do a property valuation landing page, I want to drive the people to the landing page, not use the lead form and then create the ad, right? It doesn't matter if you use lead forms or if you drive the traffic, but notice this is talking about homes in Pleasant Hill, right? And it's got my landing page. So when people click on this ad, they're going to get driven to my landing page. And the landing page is something that you can create unlimited landing pages, right? And a landing page for home valuation works pretty simply. But the first thing it asks is, what's your address, right? And so you type in your address, and then it says, get value estimate. So if you clicked on the ad, you would land on this page where you'd be asked to give your address. At this point, you have the address. At the point they click that button, we're going to email it to you. Then it says the report's ready. What's your email address, right? So it's asking the consumer, what's your email address and why do you need this information? And then boom, then we deliver not an exact estimate, but a range from a company called Onboard Infometrics, okay? And what's good about that is all these green buttons that you see are all call to actions to help them schedule an appointment with you, right? So this landing page is designed to give them an instant range and to get an appointment, right? At least you're going to have the contact information. So let's see here. I see a bunch of questions. We're going to talk about PDFs in a minute, Elizabeth. Yeah. That's why I need to know what I'm doing. Right. Well, pay attention. We're going to talk about what we're doing. What are the 8 ads we should be running each month? Okay. I like the one master. That's great. Let's see here. I'm just trying to address your questions. Do we need a landing page for it? What do you mean, Elizabeth? Do you need a landing page for it? If you're going to run a landing page ad, you're going to need a landing page for it. So when you come to the landing page section, these 3 are already built: free home values, down payer assistance, and new construction. So you can go to your ads and run ads on those the minute you sign up. Like, you could just sign up. If you're a new client, you could come right to this page, connect to Facebook, and then these 3 things are here, and you go to create landing page. These top 3, free home values, down payer assistance, and new construction, are already default sitting in your account. And yeah, you can run an ad, right? And you click that and you go there. And so I'm going to repeat this. So that's how you do it, right? But you might want to have your own landing page. Like I have one for Pleasant Hill, right? You guys live all over the country. We don't know what your farm markets are, right? Maybe you're targeting a neighborhood in a town. You can create a landing page for every farm market that you're in, and you should have a landing page for every farm market that you're in, okay? Especially Property Valuation Plus, which is the home value page, right? So on, let's see, we got a question here. Let's take that. Yes, Christine. Yes. Christine is confused. Let me explain this to you. And this is hard for everybody to understand. When we run an ad, and I'm going to say this like a big broad sweeping terms, and then I'm going to kind of caveat it in a minute. But when we run an ad for a listing, when we have something for sale or coming soon or just listed, we at Listings to Leads are looking for buyers, and you'll see the language is for getting more buyers, right? So if you're looking for buyers, use lead ads. When a home is under contract or sold, we're now looking for sellers, but we really want to drive traffic because we're not going to get the address unless we get the people to our tool. Our tool, whether it's a property valuation landing page, or whether it's a sold listing, or whether it's an under contract listing, you want to drive traffic to our tool just by changing the button to traffic. The language on the ad is going to be exactly the same. The consumer isn't going to really know where they're going, right? But I think if you're looking if you're running listings or landing pages, you want to drive traffic to it, okay? Now, let me throw another wrench in, Christine. I hope you understand that. Here's another wrench, and I'm going to kind of answer it because I think I have a different answer if you're using this. Create a PDF report ad. So when we're doing seller reports, which means we're looking for sellers, these are generic tools here, right? These are Curb Appeal 101, right? You can download it here. You can create the ad here. On this, if you use a lead form, and I think it is doing a lead form, it doesn't even ask you, so it's really weird. It's just going to get the name and email. So if you're doing a PDF, there's not even an option for you to choose traffic or whichever. Really what we're trying to do is give them this content, which is branded to you, this PDF report, and you get their name and email, right? So it's different from a home valuation landing page. It's different from a sold property, thing like that, okay? But when you're running an ad for a sold property or something under contract, it's a listing, use traffic, right? When you're trying to get sellers. If you're trying to run a landing page for sellers like Free Home Values or Property Valuation Plus, you're going to want to get you want to drive traffic, drive people to the page, right? Now I got a custom landing page here, and custom, you got to kind of think about what you're trying to do. I think these custom things, you're really going to want to drive traffic to the landing page. To make it very simple, when you're looking for buyers, running an ad on a property that's for sale and using lead forms is a slam dunk. You're going to get leads with phone numbers. That's just how it works incredibly well. It's just not that simple when you're trying to get listing leads, okay? Now, so are there any questions about so far what we've talked about? I know it gets a little bit confusing, but I'm going to go round and round on this so that when you get off of this call, you know what's going to happen, right? Now, somebody asked, what are the 8 ads that I need to create? And I mentioned you should be running 2 ads a week. 1 ad is on any listing, even if it's borrowed, doesn't matter what stage, and then do it for 20 bucks. If you do that for $20, 2,000 to 3,000 people are going to see that ad, and you're probably going to end up with something like 20 leads with phone numbers, okay? And you're doing that 4 times a month, right? Once a week for 4 days every week. Then you run a $30 ad, either on a PDF report ad or a landing page ad. So it's not a question of which do I do. There are 50 PDF reports. You decide what you want to do. Go look at the titles and see what it is that you want to talk about. You want to talk first time home seller guide? Do you want to see, whatever, how to stage your home? It's all different. And frankly, I don't know if any one of these is better than the next. For you, it's consistent advertising, right? That's what you've got to be thinking of. What am I doing consistently to get my brand out there in front of thousands of people every week? Well, run an ad on any one of these PDF report ads, right? Or run an ad on a listing, or run an ad on a landing page, right? Now, I'm going to go into, and if you've got questions, definitely lay them on me. I'm going to go to the landing page section because I want to talk about how to do custom landing pages, because custom landing pages can be really helpful. Here, I've got one built right here, and it's for a new construction, right? And the reason why I want to point this out is every once in a while, a realtor will come in, sign up, and they'll go create a landing page. And that landing page is like, sign up for a free list of homes for sale in Portland, right? Now, and yeah, you can drive an ad to it, but nobody's going to respond to it, right? So then you come back and go, why isn't my ad working? Well, a generic question of like, would you like to see a list of homes? Would you like to sign up for a free list of homes? The answer is pretty much no, because the market knows they can go look at homes all day long, 24/7 on all kinds of websites, right? So they're not going to go sign up for a list for you, because it's just not even relevant anymore. However, realtors do it all the time, right? Now, however, if you're talking about a particular niche, right, a certain kind of home, well, then a landing page can be very effective. As you can see here, I've got a timer built in. I've got a video running in the back. All the words, all the text that you see on this, you can customize it, right? So you can really make it fit what your business is about. Some of you focus on waterfront properties, on lakefront properties, on horse properties, on golf course properties, on condos, on particular developments, particular neighborhoods. That is a niche. Those are all kind of niches, right? That's when a landing page for buyers can really work well. So when you go to the landing page section, you can go here to create a custom landing page for buyers or for sellers. You can even create a custom landing page with a free report. Let's say you've got a report that you got from your office, from one of your business partners, and it's awesome, and you want to give it away, but you want to collect contact information. If it's for buyers, you create this one. If it's for sellers, you create this one. Either way, it's going to get you to a page where it's going to look like this in the back, right? So the background is where you edit it. And as you can see from this one, I've got, a video that I pasted in right here, third-party video. YouTube videos snap right in. If I want to change this text over here on the right, well, what do you think that is? That's called lead form text, right? That kind of makes sense. So if I want to change that language right there, it's going to change what's showing up on the form, okay? The timer here is actually under the field of custom content. So I got a countdown timer and I got an expiration on it, right? I'm actually going to change that expiration to a couple months out. Yeah. That way my timer doesn't fail on me and I'm looking at zeros the next time I pull it up. So, that's how you customize a landing page. And if you customize it, that means you want people to actually land on it, right? Because you've got something really compelling there that you've done. Well, in that case, when you go and you want to, that's not what I'm looking for. When you go to create an ad and you say, I want to create a landing page ad, and you're driving them to one of your, let's see, give it a second here, to one of your custom landing pages, like the one I was just looking at on Paloma, I want to drive it traffic to the ad, okay? And that way they go to the page, they see what I put there, and there you go, right? That's how it works. So let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. Lots of questions. So let's answer, ask those questions, people, because I want all of you to be running ads, multiple ads every week, every month until you retire. Or until I get on this call and tell you, hey, Facebook sucks. But right now, it's actually one of the best places for realtors to invest. Okay. When it asks you for the mile radius you've chosen, what is the best choice? Also, when it comes to targeting, what is the best choice to get both sellers leads and buyer leads? Those are good questions, Laura. And it's a big can of worms. So let's talk about that. When it asks for the mile radius, what's the best choice? And it really depends on what you're doing, right? So I'm going to type in Lafayette, right? And actually, let me start over. I'm going to go to ads. And I'm going to do one of the most popular ads that realtors like to do, okay? And I'm going to do it because I don't want you to really get too excited about it. So, let me refresh this. It's actually this is something that we really need to learn and really understand. So when I click here, and free home values is what a lot of realtors think is the way to get listing leads. Right? I've got a page here for Pleasant Hill, and I want to run traffic because I've got a landing page to get listing leads. So I want to run traffic to get there so that I get the address like I showed you earlier. But the reason I'm showing you this is because this gets us to the major problem of Facebook, right? So this is Pleasant Hill. So obviously I'd want to type in Pleasant Hill, right? So let's type in Pleasant Hill, California, and I can only minimally do a 15-mile radius, okay? So that's kind of a problem, and I'll show you why. Let's go here. I'm going to type in Pleasant Hill, California, and just show you a map, right? Pleasant Hill from end to end is maybe 4 miles. 4 miles. It's a small town, like 30,000 people, nestled in with other towns. There's Concord right next to it, Pacheco, Walnut Creek, even Lafayette, right where I live. So the problem is a 15-mile radius is getting way out here, like way out here. And so an ad for home value, where am I? It's already overshooting, right? The landing page only talks about Pleasant Hill. This is only talking about Pleasant Hill up here, but all these people in all these other towns are going to see it. That is why I don't recommend home valuation ads on Facebook very often. But listen to this, I do recommend you run a home valuation ad once a month for 30 bucks. For 30 bucks, 1,000, 2,000 people will see it. And it's important for your branding to let people know you can get them a home valuation. The problem is you can't target anything. And that gets to the question that Laura had. What can I do to target? Well, let me tell you what you can do to target. Pretty much nothing. Okay. You pretty much nothing. And I am going to tell you, you can retarget, and this gets into a different section, and you can retarget your old leads. I'm not going to go there yet. It's really valuable. It's really important. But had you been taking a class on Facebook advertising from me or Scott or anybody else 3 years ago, we could have told you, you could say, hey, they got to live there. They could be, you could target by their income. You could target by where they work, all kinds of great targeting stuff. But since then, Facebook has gotten a little trouble. Realtors are running discriminatory ads on Facebook. Countries are manipulating our elections on Facebook. So Facebook has taken some heat, and the response is you are not able to target the way you could 3 or 4 years ago. So running home valuation ads is pretty weak. Okay, you're not going to get a lot of leads, and they're not going to be really that good. Still good for your brand, but it's not the best way of getting listing leads. Okay. So, Laura, I hope that you understand that. And so, if you're trying to get buyers or sellers, it's different things. So, Chanel's asking new construction. Oh, yeah, new construction. You like that. Okay. Edward, that's good. If I have a video for my new construction home, can I run it in the background? Yes, Chanel. Yeah. So, if you create, now, let's go to the landing page section. Let me just make it easy for you. If you have a video, put it on YouTube. All right. And then take the link from YouTube and copy it and go to the background right here. And where it says image, the default, it always shows you this default image, right? But if you have a video, you click right here where it says video and you paste in your YouTube video or your Vimeo video, and then it will show up right in the back. Chanel, I hope you understand how that is working. Okay. Lots of tools to use. That's right. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Chanel's got her answers. Are home values target ads good right now in this crazy market? Christine, I think I just said that I don't recommend it for good quality listing leads. Okay. And so I do recommend it for your branding, because every time you run that ad, a few thousand people are going to see that you're a professional realtor who can get them a home value. It's not really good. It's not, because you're overshooting, you can't target. It's like using a shotgun when you really need a rifle approach. Okay. Now, let me point something out to you. I'm going to slow down because I know everybody wants listings, right? So I'm going to take us outside. I'm going to take us where not even inside listings to leads. This is listings to leads, our homepage. You probably don't know this, but at the very bottom of our page is a blog. And I'm going to give this to you in just a moment, but I want you to know what I'm about to give you. It's probably on page 6. It's called Realtor Stuck Inside with Time on Your Hands. And it looks, I actually have a link to it right here. It looks right here. And you can ask our support team if you can't find it. Realtor Stuck Inside with Time on Your Hands. There are 6 videos here, and these videos pretty much cover our entire platform. I'm going to give this to you right now. So you're going to see in your GoToMeeting thing, that everybody has a pop-up, and you can open that up and save it. And the reason why I want you all to have it is, as I'm telling you, home value ads on Facebook are not very good. It's actually at the bottom of my list of the top things to do, right? But if you want listings, you should look at the top things to do. And they're all covered on this third video here. If you have problems running ads on Facebook, this video right here, number 2, is all about that, right? If you want to know how to market your listings to get more buyers and sellers by marketing your listings, even if it's not, if you're borrowing the listing, there you go. Number 1. What do you do if you don't have any listings at all? Do you cancel, or do you use all the tools we've created for you? And if you're using any kind of video, professional videographer, or even Matterport, you definitely should be leveraging it inside of our system. And number 6 is good. Number 5 is actually a great video of free ways of using the system, right? Like free places to put our tools to get leads where you're not even paying for it. So this is not the class on how to get listing leads, but that number 3 right there is the class on how to get listing leads. And you should definitely, if you want listing leads, you know, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because you're asking me like about home value ads on Facebook, right? And I do recommend you do one once a month so that you're letting the market know, but it's not the top way of getting listing leads, okay? So does everybody understand the thought process of running a couple of ads a week? And I'm going to say this, that's for people with no business, like no listings, right? If you've got 5 listings, you need to be running, and you probably already know this, a couple, 2, 3 listing ads every week. It doesn't matter what status that you're choosing, update your status on the listings page, but 2,000 or 3,000 people are going to see every $20 ad you put. If you make it a higher budget, more people are going to see it, you're going to get more leads, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. I think, Edward, you said you have a $500 budget. Our default setting for any listing ad is $35. Leave it there, even increase it. And I will say this, there was a question earlier about the radius, right? And I'm going to do this one here, right? I'm going to click lead ads because it's for buyers. And another thing to think about radius, this home is in Berkeley, okay? And I had a conversation, and I'm just going to kind of share it with you, right? This person called me from I don't know if it was a neighborhood or a little town, but it was north of Washington, D.C. And it was a super high-end neighborhood, and this was one of the best listings she had had in a long time. So she wanted to know, what should I do about my radius, right? And I said, well, do you want everybody to know that you're doing this? Like, this is like, if it's a showcase, kind of a marquee property, and you want people to know that you can sell in that area, then expand the radius so that more people can see this, and increase your budget so that more people can see it and you get buyers. You know, that's what the radius can do for you. You know, I live in the Bay Area around San Francisco. And I honestly don't want to be driving more than 30 miles because traffic is a nightmare over here. And that's, so I don't want my radius to go that far, even though I've got a super awesome property. But it's kind of different, right? That's if you're marketing a listing. Maybe if it's super marquee, yeah. You know, where I live, people come from San Francisco, right? They want to get out of town and they want to live over here where it's nice and trees and all that. So yeah, I want to expand the radius. So that's what the radius does. That's how you got to think of it. Laura has a question, what is the difference from Property Valuation Plus and the normal one, right? And that's the landing page that we're talking about, okay? The normal page of Free Home Values, it's a default sitting in your account. Like, you sign up, it's ready, okay? But as a default, it looks like this, okay? And I don't know if that looks like your neighborhood over there, right on, take this and use it. But if it doesn't, I definitely recommend that you click on the pencil over here and you change that background picture to a picture that looks like your area, okay? Because that's going to be your default link, right? But Property Valuation Plus is pretty much the exact same thing, except we should actually change the name because it's just, it should be Home Value Antioch, Home Value South Brunswick, Home Value Walnut Creek, Home Value Satellite Beach, Home Value, that's all it is. It's all home value pages, okay? We just gave it some goofy name because I don't know why we did. It's just how things are. But you want one for every one of your areas, right? Not that I'm saying to go out and run ads on it, but actually, if you create one, you should create one of these. It's unlimited. We don't charge you more. Most of you are building your business in 4 or 5 towns, right? Maybe a neighborhood. But when you create this landing page and you put a custom picture in it that looks like that neighborhood, if you go to advanced options, the #1 way to use this page is under print marketing. It's this letter right here. It's a really simple letter. It looks like, and you're going to see this in that video of top things to do to get listings. You can customize this by clicking the pencil, but all you got to do is get this in your market and customize this language and talk about, the highlights of what's going on in that neighborhood. Because then they'll read those highlights and they'll say that affected your home value, go here, and that's going to go to your home value page, your default home value page, right? So that's why having those pages are there. Is it a good idea to make custom pages for all neighborhoods you sold in over the past year? No, Chanel. Well, I don't know if let's see. We're getting into listing marketing, right? So this is outside of Facebook, but I am going to answer this for you. Your listings are here, right, in your listings page. And if you sold anything, you could click on this button here, and there's going to be a nearby homeowner letter. This is under print marketing. This is the #1 tool, the nearby homeowner letter, for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. It's the #1 tool that we create. And I think it's the #1 tool across the whole industry, because most people are still talking about go run ads or go pay Brevity or whoever, Boomtown, and they'll sell you leads for just some ridiculous price. And those leads stink because they're getting them from Facebook. And I already told you why Facebook leads don't work. This is not an ad that you're looking at. This is something that you print and you get in the own neighborhood, okay? So if you've sold something and you want more listings in that neighborhood, this is the #1 tool, right? Now you could take that over there, that landing page that I showed you about the neighborhood home value page, and you could use that as well, right? But that's just sort of it. So let's see here. Let's okay. I had a luxury listing that sold 100K over list in multiples. Yeah. What's the best ad for me to run? That would be, Chanel, a just sold ad, like I showed you earlier in the call, and you would put in the notes before you push the ad, like right there so everybody sees it, sold 100K over, right? And is it too late because it's a year ago? Maybe. I don't think anybody's gonna jump up and down about it, but yeah, it's a little bit late. Great. Okay. Oh, and then that next question, you should have a property valuation landing page, maybe not necessarily for every place where you sold a home in the past, but you should have one for every place where you want listings, okay? So if you have 4 or 5 areas that you want listings in, you definitely need to go here and click on Property Valuation Plus and type in the name of that one town, right? Let's say Marfa, right? You type in the town, you click this green button over here, and that's going to create the page. And then once you create the page, that's where we're going to drop you immediately on the edit section, so that the #1 thing you do is you change the background, right? Yeah, what is this? What? Oh, why? Oh, I don't want it there yet. Sorry. change the background. Okay. And that's, yeah, that you definitely need to do that. I'm going to say one thing since we're talking about this. The background picture, it's actually super important because what you're asking people with that home valuation landing page is, hey, can I have your address and your email address and possibly your phone number? And I don't know you, right? And you don't know me, but you somehow landed on this and you're looking at it. And would you give me that really important information? That's a big ask, right? It just is. It's a big ask. And it's better if you put something that they're familiar with. And I'm going to point this out to you. I set up the office plans around the country, right? Discounted plans, teams of 5, teams of 2,000 agents. That's what I do aside from this and many other things. But when I set up Coldwell Banker in Summit, New Jersey, and I train them, like I'm training you now, but they get specialized training for offices. They came back a month later and said, our #1 home valuation landing page is the one with Summit Diner in the back. And I want to point that out to you because a lot of realtors think it's the $1 million property that needs to go in the background of their landing page, right? And it's not that at all. You're basically, you don't have any trust built with people. Especially if you run this on an app. So you need to show them something that makes them feel like, oh, you know my area, right? That's going to help you a lot. A generic look like that weird suburban neighborhood that's default on your instant free home value ad. I don't know, maybe that does look like your neighborhood. I don't think I've ever driven through a neighborhood like that. It's just a generic picture we have. The picture actually is a big deal, okay? Now we have sold home as, okay, now if we sold a home as a buyer's agent, can we do the sold ad? That's correct. Totally correct, Christine, and a great question. So if you go to your listings page and you helped somebody buy a home, so you know it's sold because you were the one who bought it, right? Well, you're not going to be able to pull that in, but you'll probably have to manually create it. We're not like the MLS with 100 data fields. There's just a few right here, right? And then the next page is add a couple photos. So, take a few photos with your smartphone if you want, and then load them up, and then make it's not just listed, it's sold as the selling agent. I think that's the way we term it, which is weird. But anyway, that's how you do that. And then it's sitting in your account, and then you can go run ads on it as it's just sold. Okay. And you don't even have to worry about that. That's just really, like, you should definitely be doing that because I'll tell you, sold ads don't generate like 50 leads. They generate, 5 or 10 leads, right? They don't generate a huge amount of leads. But sold ads, under contract ads can definitely get leads. And sometimes, and I'm going to tell you this, I've known people who say, hey, I ran an ad, it was under contract, and I didn't get any leads, even if they drove traffic, and they didn't get any clicks. And I got to tell you, while we do recommend it, it doesn't always work, right? Because people are like, well, it's under contract, unless, and I had to ask them, like, are you taking offers, right? And they said, yeah, we're still, it's open, we can take offers. And I said, well, you didn't state that, right? So you're not even asking, and so you got to kind of wordsmith it a little bit. You really, want people to click. For buyers, it's a slam dunk the way that the thing works. Our default language works really well. When you're trying to get listings, you got to put a little more thought into it. So guys, let me ask you, do you understand? I've been yammering on here for an hour. Do you know how to run ads? And if you don't know how to run ads, tell me right now, and I'm going to do it again. And do you know the kinds of ads that you need to run? Like, what I'd like to know from everybody on this call is, how many ads should you be running every month? Can you answer that question for me real quickly in the chat? As you can see, even if I want to run a PDF report ad and I want to run it for sellers, I can, it doesn't take long at all, right? I'm now getting to a place where I can run the ad. And now all I got to do is click create the form, type in the location, and publish. Now, 8 ads, awesome. Thanks everybody. And I'll tell you what I would appreciate too, and we would all appreciate this. Ideally, I hope you're all in our mastermind group, right? It's where our clients share a lot of information. And what would be great is as you're running ads, let us know like, hey, I ran an ad, I put on $30 and I got 30 leads or I got 20 leads. It gives us all an idea of cost per lead, and that's really one thing that we're always trying to, I mean, Scott and I always want to know this, but our clients learn from that as well. So if you're getting success, or even if it's like, hey, that's did not work at all, you know, we'll jump up, support will help, or you can ping me. But usually people will tell you, what did you do? And everybody jumps in and answers the question. So everybody gets it. It's like 8 ads. That's a minimum, right? If you have more listings, you need to run more listing ads. So since you're still here, and I'm going to give you this part here, this retargeting ad is super powerful, all right? What it does, when you come to listings to leads in the ad section, there's going to be this pop-up that says activate retargeting. Definitely activate it. What that does is that's going to tell the system that every time we capture a lead for you, put it in a custom audience file on your own Facebook account. Because the first step was you're going to connect your Facebook account, right? And now every time we capture a lead, we're going to drop them in 3 files that we create for you. One will be all leads, one will be buyer leads, and one will be seller leads. So that the next time that you run an ad, now remember, if you've gotten it in your head that you're going to be running 10 ads a week, I'm sorry, 8 ads a month. Sorry, I need more coffee. 8 ads a month. Well, people don't buy on the first ad. Even though you got them as a lead and you're thinking, I'm going to pick up the phone, they're going to convert and sign a contract tomorrow, that ain't going to happen. You got to touch them multiple times. And by using retargeting, even though I'm targeting everybody in Lafayette or whatever I'm targeting, I can type in the name of my custom audience, which is like, you know, buyer leads and listings to leads or whatever, and then you can target those people again. If any of you have a CRM outside of listings to leads, and you've got hundreds or thousands of leads in there, you can export those leads from your CRM and go directly to Facebook, to your ad account, and create a custom audience and upload them. And you will be able to target those leads as well right here, like I'm doing right here in this gray box. That's a super smart way to convert leads. All right. I hope you understand that. It's definitely really, does retargeting include folks who clicked on the ad? Yes, if you got their email, if you got their lead once, they're going to be dropped into that file automatically, and then you can run that. And so you're saying about CRM leads. So a lot of you have been in the business a while, and you have a CRM with leads that you've gotten from all kinds of places, Zillow, Realtor.com, who knows where you got them. They're just sitting there, you're dripping on them, and they're not doing business with you, right? From your CRM, you should be able to download them into an Excel file. And then you go to Facebook, and I'm not going to go there because Facebook is just such a bear. I don't even know where you do it. Oh, Ads Manager. Here we go. Ads Manager. In the Ads Manager of Facebook, in your own in your own business page, you can actually create a custom audience. And I think you should probably, if you haven't done it, you should go look on YouTube and, you know, how do you create a custom audience? And you upload your leads from there to there, right? You upload them from your Excel file into this, and okay, yeah, whatever. I don't know where it is off the top of my head, it's like, but let's see here, audiences. You see here it says audiences. So there's over here on the left, there's this little hamburger button, they call it audiences. And give me a second. I have an ad blocker on, so Facebook hates me. But you'll get to a place where you can upload an Excel spreadsheet. And that way, when you go over here in listings to leads, so it says create audience right here, custom audience, and then customer list, right? That's what it is, right? And then you just upload it, right? And you might want to name it like, I don't know if you have your leads sorted like this, but maybe you bought leads from Zillow. Maybe you bought leads from Boomtown. Maybe you bought them from Bold or whatever. You could name those in that way, right? So that when you come here to run your ad, you could just search on it. This gray box is where you type it in, and it will see all of your lists, and then you just pop them in, okay? It's a really important thing, and honestly, it's so techy that I never would talk about it. And I would say really only 2% of realtors know what it is, because they actually know enough about Facebook to know that that exists. The awesome thing about listings to leads, and I mean it, it's awesome, is that you can click a button and we're going to create files for you automatically. And get this, if you're one of our clients who's been with us for years and you've got hundreds or thousands of leads that you've collected from our platform for over the years, the minute that you collect those, oh, those are lead links, but over here I got a bunch of leads. The minute that you turn on the retargeting, we're going to sweep all your old leads into those files, okay? And that means all your old leads from listings to leads are going to be available, and all your new leads are going to drop into those same files on Facebook for your own retargeting. I don't think I've known another, I've not heard of that happening in any other company in real estate advertising, right? I also don't know anybody that's got 50 PDF reports branded to you for you to run ads on at any time in like 20 seconds. But that's just me tooting our horn about Facebook or listings to leads. Thanks so much, guys. I hope this helps you. I hope you, if you have any questions, lay them on me now. This call will be in the mastermind group later today. And this gets us to the mastermind group. All of my calls are recorded. And if you want to find them, and I think if you're new to us, you should find our most recent calls. So let's go over here to the mastermind group. Give me a second. Everything's going slow. What's the problem here? There's a magnifying glass in the mastermind group right here, in the bottom right. Well, the way I see it, it's right here. It's a magnifying glass. That is our search page. So if you click that and you type in the words recorded webinar, you know what you're going to see? You probably guessed it. All our recorded webinars. And you can see the ones on the top tools to get listings, right? I do that every other week, right? Facebook strategy. All of these calls are here for you to kind of get familiar. And that's kind of the story that I got for you. Let's see here. Let's see if there are more questions. I'll ask them. Okay, well, you get in the mastermind group by using the support page in your account. The mastermind group, so in your account is a support page at the bottom left in the navigation bar. And just type in this box, hey, would you add me to the mastermind group? You're welcome, Kathy. Thank you, Christine. And thank you, everybody, for your questions, because it really helps. It helps me answer, what's really, I kind of get in my own train of thought, and there are many things that we can be discussing. The mastermind group is a private group. it's not visible until you're in it. So you need to use the support team to get in. So everybody keep safe. Thanks so much. This really can help your business grow. Look at the page I sent you about the top ways to get listing leads, or use the recorded webinar search on the mastermind group, and you will see the most recent calls. Thanks everybody. Take it easy. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.